the land of Israel. I mean, massively. Some Jews was living, but most Jews was living outside.
Yeah.
How long in this time already we was without the land of Israel? Maybe you know.
What? Is that a question?
Yes.
You mean for how long have, like, were the Jews in the diaspora until the state of Israel? Good question. I mean, I think
You don't have to say exact number. You can say approximately, right?
Well, thousands of years. No?
Thousands of years, exactly. So this is what I'm saying.
So it was the Persian people.
So Persia, it's before Common Era, right?
What?
Persian?
No, I was thinking who, like,
So
the destroy how do you say, from like the first temple.
Yes, we had the first temple, it was destroyed, and then we have the second temple, it was destroyed. So
by who? By the
Romans. So the second
Romans.
The second
Romans,
temple is the Romans.
Thinking about the Romans.
First century Common Era, right? So it's almost 200 years, less, but almost 200 years. We was living
2000.
a little less. Yes, 2000.
Yeah.
Less, a little less than 2000 years. He was living outside of the land of Israel. So we see that you can separate. So this is the phenomenon of Jewish nation, that it survived without their land.
Yeah.
So this is the phenomenon.
It's really a phenomenon. And I think it's also, yes, I mean, thanks to the communities and the rabbis and the
of course.
religion, it's
religion.
Survived, no? It's really, yeah, a miracle somehow, maybe.
Miracle, yeah. People like miracles.
yeah, it's.
So it was my question initially when I just came here. So if we live in Germany and there is the state of Israel, so some people in Germany might be against the state of Israel or have some critics maybe. So why should we bother that much, right? So we Jews live in Germany, so we have our identity. So that's a very important word. Like you said, religion. I prefer not to use the word religion because people use it usually to say I'm not religious. And people that practice, so we use. Okay, so we talk about identity. We have our Jewish identity that preserved us, and of course the land of Israel, this is part of this identity, but we don't have to live inside the land of Israel in order to practice Judaism.
Yes.
This is what we have in today halakha, right?
Yes.
Halakha. So it's a good thing to live in the land of Israel if you have the opportunity, but if you don't have the opportunity, you're still obligated to perform a lot of commandments. Some commandments, some mitzvot are only for the land of Israel.
Commandments?
Commandments, mitzvot. Commandment like the law.
Yeah.
We have a lot of laws. So some laws are relevant only to the land of Israel, but a lot of the laws are relevant wherever you live, right?
Yes.
So we see that it's two different things, right?
Yeah.
Or
I mean, it's also very unique or special that it's like it's somehow so connected with each other, you know, like the ethnical culture and the religion, and it's also like one of a kind. I think there is. I mean, it's interesting if you think about like Jews as really being a like people, like
ethnos, you said.
like yes. because sometimes I ask him, because my father is a Jew.
Mm-hmm.
So, and my grandparents are both, of course. And when I go and visit them, they're still alive, and I visit them a lot in Cologne. They live in Cologne, and we're talking about like Judaism a lot lately, actually. And I was like, yeah, but you know, just because my mom's German and the religion, and so I'm not. But then my grandmother says, yeah, but the ethnical part, you're just half. It's like being half Spanish or half Italian, or I don't know. And I was like, ah, yeah, because I was always like, no, I'm not, because like the religious law tells me I'm not, right? So, but if you see it as really an ethnical group,
We can discuss it. It's
it's
very
like
interesting.
being half Spanish. So yeah, and I do like understand it really as a cultural ethnical group as well. I mean, of course, also religion, but also have this like ethnical identity. Or
so it's connected. So we're saying that the one that born Jewish, he is obligated to follow these rules of Judaism, right? So we connect religion to ethnos, right? On one hand, but on the other hand, we also have possibility of Giyur, conversion. So if Judaism is limited only to ethnos, so it should not be possible to make a conversion, right? Because if this religion belongs only to this family, big family of people, so it's hard to understand why someone can join this group of people if that someone was not born Jewish, right? So we need to understand what
yeah, but
is
it's
Judaism.
like, I mean, when I was in Zurich talking to the rabbi there, because I was in Zurich when I started to think about Giyur and stuff, and he was like, yeah, I mean, it's like getting the passport, like the Swiss passport or something. You know, you have to like.
That's good.
And you
good analogy. Yes.
You can have the Swiss passport eventually, even if you're not born Swiss or not. You know,
I
you
can have German passports.
Yeah, you have to live 10 years there, you have to work, and you have to pay for your rent and stuff, but and taxes, of course. But yeah. So I don't think it's so weird that you can join the. No.
Yes, so this is a good point. So we can now ask from the other side. So if we see that we have Glaube, this beliefs, religion, Judaism, that people can believe or not, then why we are saying that if the person is born Jewish, so he's kind of obligated to believe. So we need to understand this. So if it's like Christianity, so people can believe in Christian God or people can believe not. So it's their choice, right? They're not obligated. We cannot say to anyone that he's obligated to believe in Christian God, right? But if we talk with Jewish people, so we're saying that if person is born Jewish, he's obligated to believe in Jewish God, right? We need to understand this.
Yes, but I mean, still there's Jewish people not believing in it.
Yes, right? Yes.
I mean,
it's
not everyone is religious, even mine. No, I mean, I also have I have a lot of family in Israel, and like from Orthodox people to not religious people, like everything. it's a mix.
Diverse, yes. So
and
we need to.
Yeah, they're also they're not religious, but of course they're Jews, but.
So this is the question. Who are Jews? So we see two possibilities. So if person born Jewish, he is Jewish, and also if person practices Judaism, he's Jewish. So ideally it combines together and we have like the perfect Jewish person. But like you said, there is people that born Jewish and they don't practice Judaism. So the question is, are they Jewish?
Yeah.
or not. And also, it's more rare case, but people can practice Judaism and they're not born Jewish. So this is also the question: they are Jewish or not? So it's big questions that we need to learn. It's interesting to discuss.
Yeah.
What I like in Germany that it's popular to talk about Identität.
Mm.
This word is very important, and it was new for me because we didn't talk about it that much in previous countries.
But I think it's also a word or a discussion coming from the post-colonial discussion.
I didn't thought about it. What do you mean?
Um, like the whole wokeness movement.
Wokeness?
Like to be woke. You know what it is?
Awake?
Yes. You heard about it? To be woke.
It's 4 words, right? It's not one word. Woke. It's 4 acronym, right? Or
WOKE. Woke.
Afro-American. I don't know what it means. Woke. Oh, Wikipedia. Stay woke, vote. No, it's something.
Yeah, I mean, it's like being very aware of. Yeah, like.
Being conscious. About what?
About discrimination.
Yes.
feminism.
So in Germany, this is very popular.
Yeah, and so this identity, it's also, there's a term like Identitätspolitik.
Identitätspolitik.
So it's like being very aware of like certain
minorities,
and also like the history of the country, you know, Germany, or also there's in the US also there's a huge woke movement and actually everywhere. And post-colonial means like also like includes very much the story of black people and their culture and being slaves and the colonial states in Africa, and like being very aware of this. And I think it, like the last years, it was just very big, especially in the left.
Oh,
left. You know,
right and left. It's really complicated for me.
And yes, all this like anti-racismus-Debatte and being very sensitive about language and
so you need to
and other people's story and backgrounds and using the wrong words and the right words and the right terms, and like I think it was like a development of a Bewusstsein, of a conscious.
Yeah, so it's important to be acknowledged that not everyone like you, so you need to have tolerance, to respect the identity of the other people and not ignore it, because if you ignore it, so you kind of harm them, or you can treat them without proper respect, maybe. Yes. Oh, okay. So you explain why Identität, this is very popular in Germany, but it's important for us when we're talking about Judaism and religion and ethnos. So we need to have understanding, ideally, about this Jewish Identität, right? So
yes,
if the person have Jewish Identität, then he is Jewish. So we just need to decide what we include in Jewish Identität and what we don't include. So here we can have different opinions, right? So like you said, people that are half Jewish, but they have Jewish Identität. So they think they are because they have Jewish identity.
yeah.
Oh, we're just discussing actual topics. Shalom from Berlin, shalom from Stockholm. Ничего себе. There is one person from Stockholm and he wrote in Yiddish, so it's not usual. He repeats the question from previous session. Okay, never mind. Am Israel Chai. Oh,
Okay.
they have the numbers now. Shalom.
Hey! Na?
Gut. Ich hatte eigentlich gestern um 19:30 Uhr abgemacht, deswegen war ich jetzt
Ach so! Sorry, dass ich dich noch nicht zurückgerufen habe.
Alles gut.
Ich habe es irgendwie noch nicht geschafft. Na dann verstehe ich bestimmt jetzt sowieso.
Ja. Schade, dass Silvester nicht da war.
Ja, das war zu spontan. Ich
So
wusste,
spontan.
es war gar nicht irgendwie.
Aber du warst da, oder?
Ich war da, aber wir hatten noch ein Treffen. Ja, ich hatte Probe. Und dann habe ich mir das noch. Und dann war ich aber auch gar nicht sicher, ob ich eingeladen bin, ob ich einfach kommen kann. Das war so. Ich wusste es irgendwie nicht so
We
richtig.
didn't have enough time to invite everyone.
Yeah, I
Personally.
wasn't sure if I'm allowed to come, actually.
That was nice. I brought Tupperware. If there's food left, I will take some home.
Upstairs, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can check after. We need to ask Rosa, she's responsible.
Yeah.
Before it turns bad, I'll take a picture.
Yes, it's a very good idea. We're talking about the identity. Maybe you can share your point of view.
Oh, last week, you mean?
No, now we're just discussing like overall introductions about Jews. So my initial question was why Jewish people very get nervous if someone have critique towards the state of Israel. So we was discussing that Jewish people was living without their land for almost 2,000 years.
Can you open the window? It's just
Yes,
too
you
loud.
just need to take the key there, you know.
Which key?
It's when you enter the balcony, there is a key there on the wall. The balcony, you know the balcony? In the men's part. And there's the key on the wall, right? Oh,
Yeah.
so with this key you can open this locks.
Should I turn it?
You,
Oh, there. Yeah.
you're very small, right? Mhm.
And I open the door
If you like.
or the windows?
You can open the windows here, but you need this key to open the windows. We have airlock. It's called airlock, right? You know what means airlock?
No.
It's a security system. So if someone enters, so they kind of isolated.
So,
With-
this way?
Yes, and now you can open it. Hmm? And the
Wow.
second?
This is good. Sorry, it's just too hot.
No,
Yeah, sure. Need some air. Oh, good.
Das sind magnetische Kontakte.
Now it's-
Okay, identity.
Identity, yes, identity. So we was talking that Jewish nation was living without their land for almost 2,000 years, and they was practicing Judaism, right?
Yeah.
So we see that Jewish people, they can practice Judaism without the land of Israel, right?
Without?
The land of Israel, the state of
Yeah.
Israel. So this is the Grund. This is the Grund for the question. If we can practice Judaism without the land of Israel, so why it's so important to us, the land of Israel? If it is important to us, then we can go and live there. And if you don't live there, so why it is important to us if we live in Germany, and we're okay basically. So when we was learning in yeshiva, we was learning how to ask questions. So we value the questions very much. If you have the questions, you can answer. But if you don't have the question, it's hard to learn something new.
I mean, just referring to that, what you just said, I think the state of Israel was also founded to like have this safe place for Jews.
It was initial hope. It was initial intention. Yes, I agree. But we see it doesn't work, right? I see. It was very strange for me when the war started in Russia. So people was talking. So let's go to Israel, right? And in Israel they have terakt very regularly, on a regular basis. So it was very strange for me. I also went to Israel, but in terms of.
But beforehand, no? Before the war in Ukraine started.
After, so the war started on 22 and we went on 23.
Oh, okay.
So security, this is very not objective question. So if people believe that the land is holy, so they consider it is good to live there. So they can, emotionally they feel it's more secure, even that objectively maybe it's not more secure, it's the same or less secure. I don't know. Right. So it's about identity. Yeah, identity is very important because we was discussing about how to react to this anti-Israel demonstrations and critique. So last time we was learning not this principle about the sun. I think people like this idea about the sun. So when the sun rises up, it rises up slowly. So when the night ends, it's getting darker. It's getting more light, but it doesn't happen immediately, right? First you have a little light, and then you have a little more light, but you don't see the sun itself at the start, and only after it you're starting to see the sun and you have the light. But the more time goes, so the light is stronger and stronger, and the sun goes up and up until it goes to zenith, right? So this is it's called mashal. Mashal, it's the image to explain something. So in the book of Shoftim, it says, "V'ohavav ketzet hashemesh b'gvurato." So we're talking about people that connected to God, close to God. So they like the sun, and the sun goes up slowly, not fast, right? So it means if you want to have a connection with God, so you need to act not too fast. You need to think, to decide, and then to act. There was a book about it. It was called yes, it was called Think Slow, Decide Fast, something like this. So when you think, you need to evaluate how to react and how to respond, and after it you can decide if you need to respond or not. So it was our previous topic, not to react, not to starting arguing with someone when you have very high emotional engagement, because then you can just so it might not help to organize good relationship, right? It might only harm. So it's about feelings. How can you express your feelings in a more healthy way, right? So it was our topic last time. So we was talking mainly how not to do. So this time we will discuss how to do. Yes, so it's about friends and about the enemies. So we will start from the written Torah, I guess. So I have book of Shmot, and we will learn how Torah says about maybe we need to learn about our friends first. You know this main rule about the law.
Is there a second one? Chumash Makulenu?
Yes, it's also there. It's in the book of Vayikra. Open, if you like. 19. So this is the main rule about Torah. In Parashat Kedoshim. Kedoshim. Yutet. It's in book Vayikra, Kapitel 19. Vayikra 19, Vers. Where is it?
19.
I think it's 19. It should be here. And the verse around 17. Yes, 17. What is. No. 18. 18. ואהבת לרעך כמוך. I can. So you need to find Vayikra, the book of Vayikra. We have 5 books of Moses, right?
Yeah, but it's here Sefer Vayikra.
Sefer Vayikra, genau. And now you need Parashat Kedoshim.
Yeah,
Kedoshim. Kedoshim. You know what means Kedoshim? It's not
Holy,
easy.
you know?
Yes, but what means holy? It's not easy to understand. Not our topic today. So it's Pasuk 18.
Yeah.
לא תיקום ולא תיטור את בני עמך ואהבת לרעך כמוך. ואהבת לרעך כמוך, אני השם.
This is, but it's, this is Haftarah. Kedoshim.
קדושים?
Yeah.
So it's before after. You need at the beginning.
Yeah, Parashat Kedoshim.
Yeah, so this is ein und zwei. Wir brauchen 18. Vers 18.
Räche dich nicht und grolle nicht den Söhnen deines Volkes und liebe deines Nächsten wie deines.
Oh?
Oder?
Ja. Du musst lieben deinen Nächsten wie dich selbst. Ja? Das ist die meine Idee. Die Frage ist, was bedeutet Nächsten? Nächsten, ja. Das ist eine ganze Frage.
Is it Lereach Kamucha, yeah?
Yes, so what means Re'echa? Re'echa, it's like a friend, Chaver, your friend. So you need to love your friend. So the question if it's also actual to your enemies or not. So this is our topic. So this is the main rule, Ve'ahavta le're'echa kamocha. So we can assume for now that Re'echa is someone which is not your enemy, right? So for the enemy we need to open the book of Shmot. And in the book of Shmot we have Re'echa is like friend, your friend.
Chaver.
Re'ah, this is old word, we don't use it today. Re'ah.
Okay.
So it's the word for other person that next to you, right? So this is why they translate next. So we need to love the other people. So it's similar, like you said, about this Vogue movement. You said.
Yeah.
So you need to love other person. It doesn't matter if it's different or the same, right? there is also explanation. We was learning in the book of Bereshit, right? So it's written also in Erlangen in street art. So Ali mentions in Gleich, yeah. It's from also from the Bible. It's not the Bible already. It's human.
Das ist Animal Farm. Alle Tiere sind gleich.
Orwell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is classic. Very good. And it's from Bereshit. So this is older classic.
Wollen wir ranrücken, dann können wir das ablegen.
Yeah, bitte. I don't remember where it is. It's here. So it's Bereshit Aleph 27. ויברא אלוהים את האדם בצלמו, בצלם אלוהים ברא אותו, זכר ונקבה ברא אותם.
Bereshit.
Bereshit.
Dann ist das ganz am Anfang.
If you like, you can open also. Bereshit is very beginning. So it's Kapitel 1 at the end, Vers 27. So it's bet. It's you need one before. You need Aleph. Or? No, it's here. I'm sorry.
Das hier?
Oh, yes, so it's here. ויברא אלוהים את האדם בצלמו, בצלם אלוהים ברא אותו, זכר ונקבה ברא אותם. Da schuf.
Da schuf Gott den Menschen
Menschen,
in einer seiner würdigen Hülle.
Oho.
In Gottes würdiger Hülle hat er...
Würdige Hülle. So it's like similarity. What? What it means? I have a builder. I'm used to this translation. Builder, like image.
In Gottes würdiger Hülle hat er ihn geschaffen, männlich und
Hülle.
weiblich.
Was bedeutet Hülle?
It's like what you put on your iPhone. Like
Shell.
Ja,
Shell.
In his...
Like form. The image and the form, yes.
Yeah.
So in his form. So God has some form and people was made in the form of God, right? This is the meaning.
No,
And what means this first?
seiner würdigen...
Würdigen?
In his appreciate... No, not appreciate.
Precious.
about dignity.
Ja.
Like honorable form. Ultimate form.
Würde ist dignity.
Like werden. Ich
Was ihm
werde.
zusteht sozusagen.
I have very easier translation. Und Gott schuf den Menschen in seinem Bilde. Im Bilde Gottes schuf ihn, Mann und Weib. Schuf sie. Weib.
Female.
Female. Okay. So we see that all people in the image of God, right? So if we need to love, so we need to love everyone, right? Because one is not better than the other. If we combine these two quotes, right, from Vaikra and from Bereshit. But, like you said, some are more...
Some are better.
Yeah, but today we not talk about better, today we talk about worse, right? So there is like a medium level, and some people we don't like for some reason, so we can call them sonne, oyev, enemy we can call them. So it's in the book of, so how should we treat our enemies? Should we also love them, or we can not love them? We need to learn. So it's in the book of Shmot. You like to open the quotes. It's in the second book of Moshe, book of Shmot, Parashat Mishpatim.
Vaikra ist drittes.
Ja, so auch in Shmot.
What did you say? Mishpatim.
Mishpatim, Das Truma. Before Truma. One before Truma, it's Mishpatim. Mishpatim, Kapitel 23, Vers 5.
Wat?
Noch einmal?
Nee.
Ah, hier.
Auch nochmal? Sind da
Ja,
Das
Kitire.
sind hebräische Nummern. Okay.
So, wir benutzen diese für die Nummer, also, ja? We have Aleph Bet, so the first letter is 1 and the second letter is 2. So the 10th letter is 10, and then we go to the 10th. So letter number 11, this is 20. You understand the system?
Yes.
So, this is so we
No,
hear.
das ist Ki.
Kitire Hamor Sonacha, Sonacha, right? This is our topic. Sonne, this is someone that hates, right?
Which one are we looking for?
5.
5.
How they translate?
Wenn du den Esel deines Hassers unter seiner Last liegen siehst, so sollst du dir nicht gestatten, es ihm zu überlassen. Vielmehr sollst du alles fahren lassen und ihm beispringen.
Beispringen. Interesting. So it's about the ezel. So ezel they was using for transport to to move. So if I want to move to other home, so I need ezel. So I put all the chairs on the ezel and they go. So sometimes people put too much chairs on the ezel, so the ezel is falling down, right? So if the ezel belongs to my enemy, so of course I will be happy that his ezel is falling down, right? So this is what Torah refers to. So if you see the ezel of your enemy and he's laying under this weight, so you want to not help him, to leave him with his trouble. So Torah says, Azov ta'azov imo. So you need to help him to put this ezel on his feet, right? So this person, your enemy, can move to other apartment or what he wants to do, right? You understand?
Question. Because it says deines Hassers.
Hassas. So it's about hate. So
Yeah,
it means
so it's about, and it's also not like, it's someone who hates me and not I'm hating him.
it's a good question. I also thought about it.
Matter
So
because
usually it works both ways, right? So if someone hates me, I hate him, and if I hate someone, so it leads to this situation that he also hates me. So normally it's both ways, right? Normally. So not normally if the person hides his hate and not show it. So it's something not normal. So normal people, I don't know how it's in Germany, but it's in the East culture, they very open, right? So if person hates, he says it immediately. Have you been to Israel?
They're
Yes,
direct.
I lived
Yeah.
there.
So if they
Very
don't like
direct,
you, they
yes.
say it to you immediately, right? So they yell at you, and you know that he doesn't like you. So it's very useful if you know that someone doesn't like you, so you can be cautious, right? It's about soneh. Okay, so we have mitzvah here, right?
But
It's
I don't understand the link between those.
between?
Hast du den Link verstanden zwischen den verschiedenen Textstellen?
Zwischen den davor und dem.
Ja.
So we're discussing how should we treat the people. Should we love them or not, right? So the normal people, if they hate someone, they don't love them, right? This is normally.
Yeah,
So-
but what is the link to the one we just read?
To Bereshit
No,
and
Bereshit is about that all people created in the image of God, right?
Aha.
So this means that when Torah says we need to love the other person, so it
But
should
if you
refers
should-
to all people, right?
But if you should love the other person, you can't hate.
Yeah, so who's who's
Oh,
this
yes, so
now?
this is the
Who's
question
this
that
hater?
Talmud asks. Yes, this is the question. But this is the question, I could say, theoretical question, right? But in practice, people hate each other, right? So this is what happens. So a lot of the time, also you can ask, in the Torah we have a commandment that you should not steal, but also we have the commandment, if you have stolen already,
Yeah.
you have to return it, right? So
Yeah.
it's steps, right? If like ideal situation that you love everyone, but in reality we have not ideal situation that people hate. So person can say, if I hate him, I will not help him. So Torah relates. Even if you hate, you still need to help him, right, in his trouble. I'm sorry, we skipped one verse. So the previous is also our topic. כי תפגע שור אויבך או חמורו טועה, השב תשבנו לו. I forget. So it's Dalit, number 4. How do you translate?
Wenn du den Ochsen deines Feindes oder seinen Esel herumirrend triffst, sollst du ihn ihm wiederholt zurückbringen.
So it's similar, right? So you find something that belongs to your enemy, and people tend to be happy about it, that their enemy forgets something, so they have less power now, less property. But Torah says you need to return to him. Right? So we have 2 commandments here. We just learned it in reverse order. So the first is about returning what was lost to your enemy, and the second to help to the person that hates you or you hate him when his transport is broken. So today when we have cars, usually the wheel is broken and the person standing on the highway with broken wheel and he asks for help, right? So in today's realities, if we can translate this old text, right? So if it's your enemy asking for help, you should not leave him alone, but you should help your enemy, which is a little controversial because why should you help your enemy, right? It's a little strange.
Because we're good people.
Oh, it's interesting answer.
We're better than our enemies.
It sounds beautiful. Sounds beautiful. Yes. Okay, so let's see the oral Torah, how we realize this in practice. And it's very interesting about the love. How, so who should you love? And overall, when we're talking about identities, Jewish, not Jewish, so in the Halacha, usually when we have the law, so our law applies normally only to Jewish people. So if we have some obligation that we need to perform, so usually it's towards the Jewish people and it's not relevant towards non-Jewish, usually. Right, so for example, we have synagogues, so we obligated to pray in the synagogue, so I'm obligated and the other Jewish person is also obligated, so I can talk to him that we want to pray together in our Jewish synagogue because we're Jewish, right? So if we have some non-Jewish person, so he can also come, but he's not obligated to come, right? So the same here, if I need to have good relationships, so this is the question that we need to understand. Should I have good relationship with everyone or I'm not obligated? And if I am obligated, then how it's in practical it realized, right? Because in Halacha, we want to find all the time very concrete, very specific actions that I need to perform. So we can ask about this love when we talk about the love to other persons. So what should I do exactly? Does Torah talk about the feeling or it's more than a feeling? There's the song, more than a feeling. But how should I express my feeling? And also, does Torah speaks about the feelings or Torah speaks about the actions? So too many questions, right? So we need to learn alachot. So for alachot we will use Rambam. I guess you can say your opinion. What do you think about it? It's about
expressing the feelings, or
yeah. So when Torah says you need to love other person,
yeah.
So it's about the feeling that you have towards the other people, or it's about some actions that needs to be done because you love the other person, or the actions doesn't matter. So
it's too complicated.
Complicated, very complicated. I ask too much questions.
Was willst du sagen? Das übersteigt gerade mein Horizont, ehrlich.
Can you repeat the question? Sorry.
Yes, so we need to understand the borders of love, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So does the enemy include in our borders that we need to love also our enemies or not? So we see in the book of Shmot that we need to help our enemies, right?
Yes.
So does it contradicts or not?
Of course it does, because the concept, I don't know how it's, but it's Auge um Auge, Zahn um Zahn.
Oh, it's about.
Is it?
Okay, we can learn about it also, but it's more about the
So what?
justice.
Yes,
For
but
the
this is
core.
the way that you apply justice in Torah.
Justice. This is very interesting. So we can learn also. Where is this quote? It's close here in Mishpatim, I think.
Ich muss nachgucken, warte.
Let's check. People like this quote because it's very brutal. Do you know this quote?
I don't, yes.
So we can learn also this. It's in the book of Mishpatim, Parashat Mishpatim, book and capital Mishpatim. I don't remember exact place.
Exodus 21.
21. I'm almost there.
23 to 25.
23. You can also open. It's your
Ein
first.
Shafat Ayin.
Ein Tachra, genau. But it's okay. We can learn from the beginning. It's 22. It starts from 22. So this principle brought here because of specific case, right? So we need to learn the case, and then we learn the principle. It's very important. 22. So it's Shmot 21, 22. 21, this is capital, and 22, this is verse.
And Hillel said you have to do the restitution.
Restitution?
Yeah.
It's like
So to
reparation.
put it in the state that it used to be before.
I don't know which case you refer to.
Die Wiedergutmachung muss den Ausgangszustand wiederherstellen.
Wiederherrscht.
Magst du das mit mich?
So it's the same capital Mishpatim.
Ach
It's a little before. It's
Ah.
21 and verse 22.
Also,
Oh, here. וכי ינצו אנשים ונקפו אישה
No,
הרע.
23.
22. Wenn Männer sich schlagen.
Yeah.
וכי ינצו אנשים ונקפו אישה הרע ויצאו ילדיה ולא יהיה אסון אנוש ייענש כאשר ישית עליו בעל האישה ונתן בפלילים. So this is the beginning of the story. So we have two men, they fight verbally, maybe physically, yes, ונקפו אישה הרע. And near this man there was a woman, hara, pregnant woman, and because two men fight, they accidentally hurt pregnant woman. And so it was the end of the pregnancy, and Yeladim, so the children, Yatseu. So it's, how you call it? Todesfall. So it's very sad story. So the question is, which responsibility, which penalty should carry this man? How should they compensate this nezek? Nezek, how you say nezek? Damage. Right? So they hurt a woman, so the woman had children inside. Now the children of this woman not alive anymore. So the question, how they can compensate, if they can compensate, or maybe they need to be punished. I don't know. So what Torah says, Anosh ye'anesh kasher yashit elav ba'al ha'isha v'natan b'flilim. So we in patriarchate, so the men decide. So we have the husband of the wife. So the husband of the wife, he have to decide. I guess he needs to decide the amount of compensation. V'natan b'flilim. So, and this amount, this person needs to pay. I guess this is the understanding, but it's not our story. Our story goes on. So our story is when two men fight and they accidentally killed a woman. So now this principle starts to work. Nefesh, this is life. So it says, Natata, you should give life tachat nefesh. Tachat means instead the life. So basically it means that if man kills a woman, so the man needs also to be killed, right? So it's called death penalty today, right?
Yeah, I mean,
And
Yeah.
because of this case, Torah continues this principle. So not only life, that you need to give life instead of life that was given, but also Torah brings other examples. Ayin tachat ayin. So Augen. So it means if one person, so we need to understand what it means. So simple explanation, understanding that if one person harmed the other person's eye, so natata. So for example, if that person had the eye, so I hurt his eye, so he doesn't have the eye now. So I need to give away. I need to give away my eye, right? This is the logic. It's logical, right? It's maybe cruel, but it's logical because this person is hurt, right? And we need to compensate his hurt, right? So how can we compensate his hurt? So if he will see with the remaining eye that I also have given away my eye, so he will be satisfied. This is the logic, right? This is cruel logic of Bedouin. So Bedouin, they was very cruel because they was not living in one place. When you live in one place, you need to build relationship with other people. But if you're scattering around, so you can be more cruel because here you did something and then you're not here anymore, so you're not responsible to anything, right? It's a very ancient law. Shen tachat shen. So it's the same about the tooth. So if I had a fight with the other person and I took his tooth, so he can, I guess the meaning here that he can take away my tooth in order to receive reparation, right? I'm not sure that is its obligation, right? He can say, but so the question, how can we apply this in modern world? Yad tachat yain. So the same about the hand. So if I hurt his hand, so or cut his hand, my hand also, he can cut my hand. Regel tachat regel. So this is first time I understand this principle. So if he cut my leg, so I can cut his leg. And the end is 25. This is the last example. Kviya tachat kviya, pesa tachat pesa, chabura tachat chabura. So it's from the strict to the light. So the first example was the life. So if I took someone else's life. So and then we talked about evarim, the parts of the body, right? If the person take away parts of my body, and now we're talking about the wounds, right? Kviya, this is with the heat, right? The wound, brand, and so if person make a brand for me, so I can make brand for him. So it's like the Vikings, right? Very cruel. And kviya, pesa tachat pesa. So pesa is and chabura. This is similar. It's wounds, like open wound and closed wound, right? So if I made a wound to the other person, he can also make the wound to me.
Then I always understood the term in a wrong way. Because I was always thinking Augam Auge Zahn Zahn, it means like
You have to do it.
no, it means no, it means like everyone's responsible for themselves. You know, like
This is about reparation. So you have to compensate. So if the person took away your tooth, so you're in anger, right? You need to do revenge. So we as a judges, we look how people behave. So if you, in order to do revenge, took out the other person's tooth because he took your tooth, so we not interfere.
Yeah.
We think it's normal. So it's not our responsibility to make people more moral because it was the morality back there. This is the story.
What is about midah keneged midah?
Yes, midah keneged midah. It's not the quote
As
from
a
the written
concept
Torah.
of justice as
This is
measure
from
for
the
measure.
oral Torah. Midah keneged midah. It's in Talmud or in Midrash?
Talmud.
Where in Talmud?
For measure.
Welche Masechet?
Maß und Maß. Nee, was ist das measure?
It's not written. Mida Kineged.
If it's not written, it's not exists.
Da, warte mal.
Okay, so I just wanted to show that it's about. So
What is measure to measure? Measure for measure.
so in oral Torah we reinterpret this ancient law, and we talk about money compensation, right? So if someone, I read Rashi, Sima ein chavero noten lo dmei eino. So if someone made me blind, right? So I don't have right to make him blind. Of course, we're not Vikings, we're not barbarians. So what should we do? Noten lo dmei eino. So person need to return my eye to me, but it's impossible. So we need to do it in money equivalent. So now we have only technical question: how can we evaluate how much the eye costs, right? But it's technical question. But the main principle that person needs to pay money to compensate the damage.
Sanhedrin.
Yeah.
This
90.
is oral Torah.
Sanhedrin 90.
90?
Yeah.
90.
But
Let's see.
Mesilat Yesharim 90.
Yes, Mesilat Yesharim, this is a very recent book. We will not learn it because it has long text. So what I like about ancient books,
Yeshia.
it have very short sentences
Yeah.
that we can read. Yes, you wanted to ask, please.
I'm just a little confused now.
Now you...
I mean,
Yes, please.
it says if I hurt someone's eye,
Mhm.
or if I'm responsible for someone losing his eye, I also have to lose one eye, right?
Almost. So it talks about third person, right? We learn about third person. That if someone damaged the other person, so what we need to do, it's like the judges, right? We need to decide how to compensate. So we compensate by, so like you said, midah k'neged midah. So the same damage that he did to other
So it
person,
has to have like the same
he
weight,
can do the same
Yes.
damage in return. He can do it.
but he mustn't.
He can do it, and we, as a judges, we allow it to happen. This is the old text. It was written 3,500 years ago. Yes. So it does, as far as I understand, we don't have to do it. But if person makes revenge this way, so we don't interfere. Right? This is how I understand it. Venatata, because it says venatata. It doesn't have you need to take the life because he took life. It says you need to give life, right? Because this person wants to, or maybe his relatives, right? It's about vendetta. Vendetta, Torah talks about vendetta also. So if I killed one person, so his relatives wants to kill me. So Torah needs to decide how much it's possible to protect me from vendetta. So it's not possible to protect me 100%, but Torah have some laws to protect me, right? But sometimes vendetta is, we cannot go against it. It's like mafia, right? So mafia exists and all police know about it, but police cannot destroy mafia. This is paradox. Because why? It's other question, but this is the reality, right? So Torah talks about the revenge and vendetta. So people do revenge. Just our job is to minimize the revenge, right? So if people took away the tooth in the revenge, so it's okay. But if people want to kill in revenge, so it's too much, and we need to protect the person, right?
But when you look at
This is about the human rights.
when you look
Very
at
old.
35,
35. Let's see, 35.
Mishpatim,
So it's about the
Wenn-
harm to the animals, right?
Wenn der Ochse eines Mannes den Ochsen seines Nächsten stößt, sodass er stirbt, so verkaufen sie den lebenden Ochsen und teilen sich seinen Wert, oder auch den toten Ochsen teilen sie sich.
Lamed Hey. So it's about the damage to the animal, right? So my animal did damage to the other person animal. So what should we do? Let's learn. V'hi agov shor ish et shor re'ehu vamet. So the ox of one person damaged the ox of other person and he died. This ox. So how should we reparate? Umachru et ashor achai. So this aggressor, we need to sell him, and the money we split. So because I damaged other person, I need to. So it's not enough that I will pay half price, but also I need to sell my ox. So this is very. There is some wise here. וגם את המת יחצון. But also this died ox, he also exists, right? So you can use the skin maybe. So the diet you also split between the two parties. או נודע, כי שור נגח ומתמוד שלשום ולא ישמרנו בעליו. So this we talk about first case. So if this ox, it was his first crime that he committed. But if we know about this ox, that he is like a evil, bastard, criminal ox, so he was fighting the other oxes before several days. So it applies more responsibility to the owner. So if the owner didn't preserve him to damage the other ox, and this ox killed the other ox, Shalem yishalem shor tachat hashor v'amet yelo. So you need to pay the full price, not the half price, but the full price. So why you bring it here? What's the connection?
Oh, I first thought actually that it's different, that it's about the men who have to share the ox. That it's not the ox aggressing.
So
I
we
read
don't
it
kill.
wrong.
So we don't kill the ox. So it's good news, right? So it's very soft law here.
Because you aren't responsible for your animals, or
Oh, so this is the question: where this responsibility lies? So if it was unexpected, so I am not responsible.
but if you
I'm
train
responsible
your dog,
half. I'm half
but
responsible.
if you train your dog to aggress another dog, then would you be responsible?
So this is the last case. So it means that your dog is attacking other dogs, so you're very responsible.
No, but if
So
the
if your dog
question is
killed
about
the other dog,
intent or not.
so you need. So it's not about intent. It's about preserving the damage. So you have to
Yes.
preserve the damage that your animal is making. So
Yes,
it's not,
but
you're
if
not
you
preserving.
trained your dog, if you trained your dog to aggress another dog,
So it's even worse. So what's the question?
then and you'd have the intent, then the reparation is more clear to me than
But Torah doesn't talk about it. No. So the Torah talks about ox. So ox usually don't attack other ox. So it's something unusual, unexpected. So it's not really connected to our topic. We don't have to love the ox. So we can hate the ox. Right?
okay.
It's normal. Okay, so we need to finish at some point. So we didn't start it. So we discussed the oral Torah, the written Torah. So we wanted to learn the oral Torah. So I guess the oral Torah we don't have time for today. So we will learn the oral Torah for the next time. So the main question that we remains now, so it's about the love to other person, right? So how this love should be realized in practice, or it's only about emotions. So it's very. So we can say what you asked about hate, right? So if person that you hate. So how can we explain two verses that it will not contradict? So we need to say, Oh, yes. So we need to say that when Torah talks about love, it's about the actions more than the feeling. And so the feeling is not really matter. The matter is the action, right? So you need to help other people when they need to smile, maybe. To smile, it's an action, right? And so this is what Torah wants. And when Torah says person that you hate, so hate is just a feeling, right? So it's not a problem that you feel. So if you hate someone, you still need to help them when they're in trouble. So it's no contradiction, right? We can explain this way. But we need to check also in oral Torah, because a lot of the times they explain not how we expect. Okay, so it's for the next time. The law. So the law is for the next time. So tomorrow, we have Shabbat.
Ja, 40 Minuten.
Tomorrow we have Shabbat.
7 p.m. ne?
7 p.m. Yes. 7 p.m.
Ja, willst du was sagen?
No, I can't come tomorrow.
Okay. But also we have Shabbat morning, I think.
Is it the 3rd? Well, I will come anyway.
I think it's the first Shabbat, right? Yes.
Okay.
So on first